Hi, my name is Anna at Green Forest Tarot, and I'm going to be going over some various different cards in a love reading. And today I'm going to be doing the Eight of Swords. This is a very interesting card. I'll be getting into it in just a second. So in a love reading, the Eight of Swords, as I said, is very interesting, and it can mean many things, so you have to be very careful when you're giving this to somebody in a reading. Excuse me. So the core energy of this card is that it's about mental restrictions. It's not about being physically restricted. So it's when you feel like you're trapped in a relationship or you're powerless to do anything, or when you're stuck in a relationship and you just can't get out. It's similar to that. So right now, if it goes a love reading, it's going to be that feeling trapped, stuck, powerless, or unable to move forward, unable to leave, not physically, but mentally, like fear of the unknown, fear about what's going to happen if you put yourself out there again. But this trap, however, is completely self-created in the Eight of Swords. You can see that the woman in the picture on the card, she could slip her restrictions off at any time. She could use one of the swords to cut her binds, and she could see what she was doing, and she could escape at any time. But she doesn't know this because it's a mental prison that she's put herself in. And so in a love reading, what's going to happen here is if it's upright like this, a lot of the common meanings are going to be, excuse me, sorry. A lot of the common meanings are going to be feeling stuck in a relationship that you don't feel free in. You don't feel like you can move around in this relationship at all. Feeling like you can't speak your truth. Feeling like you're on eggshells all the time, walking around powerless. Staying because of fear, not because of love. The fear of the unknown, not because you're in love with the person that you're with, but because you fear what might happen if you leave that person. And believing that you have no other options is a big part of this fear. This can show up when you're afraid to leave, you're afraid to commit to somebody in a relationship. That could also be the reason. Someone's afraid to reach out. They're afraid to make that first step, even though they know that's the first step to reconciliation. And someone who's trapped in their own head about you, feeling like, for instance, you're out of their league, that you're not going to have you're not going to have any physical attraction to me. How could that be possible? These sort of things. And so if this comes in a money or career reading, it's a bit different with the Eight of Swords. Similar but different. It means feeling broke even if opportunities exist. So this is like limiting yourself to being broke, poverty thinking, imposter syndrome, fear of failing, fear of taking a risk so that you can make up other opportunities for yourself. This is someone saying, I don't have options, when they actually do. They just have to take off those binds that are in their arms and take a look around. So this is also, so in a career, this is pretty similar. This is someone who who makes a lot of excuses because they may not have the self-will or the power or the self-confidence to make those kinds of moves in a career or love for that reason. They're just thinking they're not good enough, basically. So when you reverse this card into the Eight of Swords reversed, this is where the energy starts to shift a lot. Because now the card is saying you're having a mental breakthrough. There's awareness now of what's going on. You realize that the cage isn't locked, that you can get out of that cage anytime, that you can fly out. This isn't choosing freedom, it's releasing fear when they do this. This is a really good sign when this comes in a love or a career reading. It means that you're finally realizing who you are and you're realizing your potential. So in a relationship, if it's reversed like this, it means somebody's waking up in that relationship. Someone's ready to speak. Finally, someone is ready to choose themselves. Someone's realizing their worth for the first time and looking around and saying, what am I doing here? And if you get this reversed in a money situation, it usually means there's a new confidence there. There's a new confidence in themselves. They're willing to take risks now. They're finally getting rid of those limiting beliefs that let them think that they're not good enough. They're believing in themselves. They start saying, I can do this. This is something I can do. And so when you see this in the in career and in love, it's very similar. It's awakening. It's like a butterfly coming out of that chrysalis period and spreading their wings for the first time. They have that new confidence to take risks. Same with the love reading. They now look around and see what they're worth. So very similar in both career and love. For the Eight of Swords in reverse, somebody waking up for the first time, looking around and saying, "Wow, what am I doing here? I'm worth so much more." So I hope this helped you understand the Eight of Swords. Like I said, it's a very interesting card in a love reading, particularly. And you see somebody waking up and realizing what they're worth and looking around and seeing what's out there. It's a very beautiful card. If you're interested in more tarot insight, make sure you click that subscribe button and like the video, you guys. And I will see you around. I'll see you back for the Nine of Swords. Love and light, everybody. You guys have a great day. Love and light.